Please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And welcome to RPtv. Today is Monday, January 6, 2020. The winter sports scene is in full swing, so make sure you get out to support the Panthers. It was a busy weekend for the high school teams, and it looks like it will be a busy week as well. Let's go to Caitlin for the latest sports report.
On Friday, the wrestling team defeated Scotch Plains Fanwood with a score of 36-30. There were outstanding performances made by Matthew Griffin, Salvatore Randazzo, Jonathan Estevine, and Gonzalo Meza. On Saturday, the wrestling team also had a win against Rutherford with a score of 60-12. Mason Harms, Angel Meja, Julian Colin, and David Torres all had outstanding performances. Also on Saturday, the boys basketball team had a huge win over Conionia. Aiden Garambi, Kelly poured in 21 points, and Asher Phillips tallied another 16 points. Ted Gregor and Sean Roach scored an additional 10 points each, which opened the game leading a 31-16 margin at halftime. Today at 4, there will be a boys basketball JV game versus Hillside Home. The varsity team plays after them at 5:30. At 6:30, there's a wrestling match away at Midland Park High School. Tomorrow at 3, there is a varsity bowling match versus Linden at Jersey Lane's Bowling Alley. At 4, there's a girls' JV basketball game versus Benedictine Academy at home. At 5:30, the varsity team plays. On Wednesday, at 3 o'clock, there will be a bowling match versus Union Catholic at Jersey Lane's. Also on Wednesday, there's a boys' wrestling match away versus Rahway. JV is at 6 o'clock and varsity is at 7.
The mild weather is expected to change, bringing colder temperatures and the possibility of some more snow. So let's check in with Barbie for the latest weather news.
Light snowing is expected tomorrow evening by the forecasters. The Garden State is expected to receive less than an inch as the precipitation quickly pushes out into the Atlantic Ocean. The Weather Channel calls for a possible mix of rain and snow, or just rain along the Jersey Shore. According to the forecasters, the precipitation will start as rain in the afternoon before the temperature dip and then will turn to snow. The temperature at night will be in upper 20s and low 30s. Wednesday and Thursday are expected to be sunny days with the temperature in high 30s. The temperatures might get unseasonably warm by the end of the week with low 50s on Friday, and some parts of the state might even reach 60 on Saturday.
Now it's time for announcements. French Club meetings. Wednesday, January 8th, after school in room 3. New movie day, Ratatouille, Wednesday, January 15th, after school in the library. Wednesday, January 22nd, after school in room 3. Art Club and National Art Honor Society will be meeting Fridays after school in room 102 during the school year. We are working on projects and sometimes exploring new media. Join us. Attention all juniors. Check your school email for an important message regarding song suggestions for the Junior Gala. You can make suggestions via email or leave one in Ms. Hernandez's mailbox in the office. Gala will be held at the Westwood in Garwood on Thursday, February 27th. More details to follow. Attention senior girls as future teachers. 3 scholarships shall be awarded this year, $1,000 each, and 2 additional educational awards in the amount of $500 each. Applicants should have very good academic achievement, SAT score minimum of 980 or SAT score of 21 and a B average, community service, extracurriculars, and honors or awards all positives to include. A writing sample must be submitted, 2 letters of recommendation, and if so, acceptance to your college. See Ms. Moore or Mrs. Studo in guidance for the application. Do not hesitate to apply for this if you meet the criteria.
Are you interested in working behind the scenes or on stage? Then RPtv is the class for you.
If you enjoy being in the spotlight, you can be a host or a reporter. But if you're more interested in the behind the scenes type of stuff, you can do camera, sound, teleprompter, or graphics.
As you can see, Mr. Dawson and Miss Gutro's class is full of amazing opportunities and activities for anyone and everyone.
If you are interested in being in RPtv, talk to Mr. Dawson or Miss Gutro and your guidance counselor.
We hope you join our team.
If you are a fan of mac and cheese, then this is the news you have been waiting for. New restaurants dedicated to providing all kinds of macaroni and cheese specialties.
A mac and cheese franchise started in Florida is now coming to New Jersey. I Heart Mac and Cheese will be opening in Hoboken and Jersey City with one opening this year and one opening next year. With a menu streaming from bowls, grilled cheese, and to vegan options partnered with Beyond Meat. I'm excited to expand and diversify my franchise portfolio with the addition of my 2 I Heart Mac and Cheese locations in New Jersey, said Vercom Beer, the manager of both locations. Beer started his business in Fort Lauderdale and has new ambitions and wants to expand his franchise all around the country. He currently has 10 locations in Florida and plans to start locations in Georgia, Indiana, Illinois, and Texas. Maybe if we're lucky, we might get one in Union County.
Stay tuned, we will be right back. Thanks for watching RPtv. Have a great day and stay tuned for CNN 10.
Welcome to the first edition of CNN 10 in 2020, and a very happy new year to you. Hope your holidays were amazing. I'm Carl Azus, and one new place you can find CNN 10 throughout this new year is on YouTube. You can subscribe to our official channel at youtube.com/CNN10. All right, first topic this Monday, January 6th. There's an international standoff happening right now between the United States and Iran, and no one knows what's going to happen next. Military action between the two countries has been taking place in Iraq, which forms part of Iran's western border. Militias that are supported by Iran have conducted a number of recent attacks on military bases in Iraq. One of these assaults killed an American civilian contractor and wounded several members of the U.S. and Iraqi militaries on December 27th. In response, the U.S. launched airstrikes against the Iran-supported militias. And on December 31st, hundreds of protesters tried to storm the U.S. Embassy compound in the Iraqi capital of Baghdad. They smashed windows and burned some areas. but no one was reported to be killed or seriously injured. U.S. officials said this attack was made by supporters and members of a group trained by Iran. And on January 3rd, the U.S. launched an airstrike that killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, along with several other people at Baghdad International Airport. Soleimani was considered to be Iran's most influential military leader. The U.S. blamed him for hundreds of deaths of Americans and U.S. allies, and President Donald Trump says he ordered the airstrike against Soleimani because the Iranian commander was planning imminent and sinister attacks on Americans. But critics have said Soleimani's death could further destabilize the Middle East, and Iran called the airstrike an act of terrorism and promised to get revenge directly on American military sites. Back and forth threats between the two countries have been made over the past few days, and while U.S. lawmakers have been debating whether Congress should have been notified about the attack against Soleimani, some leaders of other countries have been calling for calm in the Middle East and making preparations in case there isn't.
Part of how Iran has risen to some degree of ascendance in the Middle East is its use of proxies, its use of asymmetrical warfare, essentially not always being deliberately, obviously to blame for acts that are carried out on its behalf. For example, asymmetrical warfare, you could call that the Iranian attack on Saudi oil fields in 2019. They said that the Houthis, their allies in Yemen, were behind it, but the US said it was Iranian technology fired from Iran. But still, Iran was able to deny involvement.
They want to pin the blame on Iran in order to achieve something, and that is why I'm saying this is agitation for war.
Qasem Soleimani was really the master of that. He was the man who occasionally appeared in social media on the front line and battlefields directing pro-Iranian militia to attack ISIS. The same militia too that have assisted Iran's ally in Syria, Damascus. The same militia too that have apparently also been in Yemen assisting Iran's allies there, the Houthis. Iran's grip has been successful because it had so many people relying on its aid, fighting on its behalf, confronting its adversaries without Iran necessarily having to put their flag in the dust themselves. That has contributed to its frankly outsized reach across the Middle East and made so many of US allies disproportionately fearful, frankly, for a country of its size and economy.
10-second trivia. Which of these nations is composed of 6 states and 2 territories? Australia, India, Malaysia, or Mexico? Though all of these nations have states, only Australia has exactly 6 of them in addition to its territories. And 4 of those states have been affected by bushfires. There are more than 200 of them burning in Australia, which is going through a drought and still has at least 2 hot summer months left before the season's over. One of the blazes covered 23 square miles over the weekend. That's bigger than the New York City borough of Manhattan. In all, 23,000 square miles have burned. That's more than 14.5 million acres. 24 people have been killed this fire season, and even where the flames themselves can't be seen, an ominous red sky hangs over the countryside. These aren't the worst fires Australia has ever had. Those struck in 2009, killing 173 people and injuring hundreds more. But what's happening now has led to the largest peacetime evacuation in Australian history.
An eerie glow hangs over Eden Harbour as residents walk through thick smoke in the middle of the day. This is where they've come to seek refuge from what's now known as the border fire that swept from Victoria into New South Wales, wiping out townships in its wake. One of more than 200 blazes burning across southeastern Australia.
If the roaring monster comes through, I don't think anything's going to stop it really. So, but house, they can be rebuilt. The preservation of life's the most important thing for everyone around here. So that's what we're trying to do.
Police have told residents to leave Eden on the far south coast because they cannot protect them. Communities on the outskirts have already lost homes, but some are refusing to go.
Last night we made the decision to bring the kids down here. It was the safest spot for them.
Louise Warren and her family have decided to bunker down on her husband's fishing vessel and will ride out the fire front from sea if necessary.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Never in my life, never.
Other families have moved onto tugboats, while some are staying in their cars and caravans near the water. We can't see the fire, but we can certainly smell it and feel it. And even though it started raining these last couple of hours, this is not enough to put out the blaze. The fire is burning several kilometres in that direction across the bay, but the fear is stronger winds will push it closer and threaten the township of Eden.
Up next, for more than 2,200 years, an underground army has been guarding the tomb of China's first emperor. The warriors are made of terracotta, a type of fired clay. Experts estimate that it took 700,000 people working for 30 years to create the historical treasure. And though it was first discovered in the 1970s, excavations continue at the site in central China where 200 more terracotta warriors have just been located. And they're not all the same. According to the Smithsonian, all of the clay figures that have been unearthed so far have different features and hairstyles.
Archaeologists have discovered another 200 terracotta warriors and ancient weapons at the tomb of China's first emperor. It's the third excavation at the mausoleum of Emperor Qin Shi Huang, who lived from 259 to 210 BC.
The number 1 pit is the only one among the 9 large-scale pits that has been excavated. It is shaped like a cross and is located in the center part of the pits, with 2 tomb passages each on the northern and southern sides, which signifies the relatively senior military ranks of the warriors.
The newly found artifacts were arranged in a burial area, which was a subordinate tomb to the main mausoleum. One of the most interesting finds is an ancient gold camel, which is believed to be the earliest one of its type found in China.
The gold camel is a highlight, as it was only found in West Asia in ancient times, and it is not something that belongs to the central plains of China. So the discovery of the gold camel indicates early exchanges between China and West Asia.
The first evidence of this extraordinary 2,000-year-old clay army was discovered by farmers digging a well back in 1974. The majority of the number 1 pit has not yet been excavated. Measuring 230 metres by 62 metres with a depth of 5 metres, archaeologists have estimated that there are more than 6,000 clay figurines and horses yet to be discovered.
Well, as it is our first show of 2020, we're going to leave you today with a look at how cities around the world rang in the new year. These celebrations went off with a bang. People were having a blast. You can clearly see that when it comes to pyrotechnics, fireworks, it snaps to attention, crackles with color, pops with pride, sparks new celebrations, and acts as an auld lang sign of good times. Even if staying up late leaves some people January, they were sure to have 2020 vision when they woke up the next day. I'm Carl Azus. This is CNN 10. If you're watching from our homepage, the link to our new YouTube channel should be right under the show date. Hope to see you there tomorrow.